104,000 in historical profit with a 49.81% win rate. This strategy was found in a 5-year-old article about accumulation and distribution. With quite impressive performance, I want to walk you through exactly how it works, as well as how an algorithmic trader reviews a strategy and what my next steps would be. I'm Unbiased Trading, let's get straight into this. First, this strategy is called accumulation and distribution. This was crafted by Domenico Di Recro. I might be butchering his second name there, so my apologies. It was made back in 2018, or at least it was showcased on an article which was called Traders Articles. Its foundation lies in the Dow theory, which suggests that stocks have 3 distinct trends. The primary trend is the long-term trend called the bull or bear market. You have the secondary trend, which are smaller trends such as market corrections. And then 3, we have minor trends, which are day-to-day fluctuations. Furthermore, the strategy acknowledges the distinct characteristics of the bull and bear markets, as well as understanding the trend characteristics between those cycles can often differ. Now, I personally started with a good starting place, which is a NinjaTrader kind of template or algo code that someone uploaded onto the NinjaTrader site. I have linked it in the description below if you want to start from the same place that I did. Personally, I do have a couple issues with the person's code. However, as a free starting place that you can just download for free, I think it's an awesome thing, and I'm still very thankful the guy uploaded it. So feel free to check that out in the description below if you do want to download it and install it into your own NinjaTrader. Now, the heart of this strategy lies in identifying rectangle patterns, which are characterized by a consolidation period followed by a breakout. The strategy scrutinizes the size of the consolidation phase relative to the subsequent trading range, seeking to pinpoint the ideal entry point. This breakout is typically accompanied by a decisive move, often measured using the ATR, which is the average true range indicator. While the ATR measure serves as a reliable guideline, the strategy's flexibility allows for experimentation with alternative indicators if they have different methods that you would like to use to measure a decisive mood or trend, and you can kind of use those to your own liking. Now, to be a bit more specific, it pretty much calculates the range as the difference between the maximum high and the minimum low over a specific time period or length, whether that be by bars or just by time. Then if the current range is less than a consolidation factor times the range of a specified length, it updates and then it checks the additional conditions. For example, if it wanted to enter in a long position, it would check that the close is greater than the current top, the current bot is greater than the bot value over 12 bars ago, and the volume conditions are also met, which are normally based on simple moving averages. If all conditions are met, a long position is then entered with a specified quantity that you would normally specify through NinjaTrader. You can also add other parameters, but the kind of basic ones that it normally includes is a consolidation factor, a vol range ratio, and a volume average. But you can add other ones into there, such as like choppiness index and other ones if you want to filter out trades. Now, why have I actually mentioned this strategy on my channel, and why did I put a tweet thread about it on Twitter? The main reason is idea generation. Idea generation in the world of trading can be very challenging, especially when dealing with more efficient markets such as ES, futures, large caps. Fortunately, testing previously devised strategies offer a valuable starting point, often leading to a breakthrough with your own strategies or algos and trading endeavors. This approach has proven very fruitful for me, and I encourage you to maybe give it a go as well, and has been one of the things I've heard from pretty much every other quant or algorithmic trader, that they steal ideas from others. I think it's very rare that you would be the person that comes up with a fully original idea that hasn't been pulled upon from anyone, especially in this day and age where information is so accessible and you can go around, read so many historical books, read news articles, go from other people that are doing algo trading and learn from them. Most of the time, you really don't need to start something exactly from scratch. So I recommend taking these kind of ideas and building upon them. Remember, you're not the first to embark on this journey of strategy discovery, and seize the opportunity to build upon what others have made or other people have been using. And also, one thing I'd like to put here is that even if you don't end up using the strategy, I've taken so many calculations, whether that be for indicators or specific things that were part of that strategy, and applied it to newer strategies or strategies I've created. And that is often invaluable, because sometimes you will not know what is the best method for detecting trends or choppiness that then you can apply to different strategies and indicators that can be really useful in your own trading, whether that be on large caps, futures, or even in small caps sometimes. Now, what would I do next? This mainly is up to interpretation, but the key thing obviously here is you want to do some robustness testing. We've got one good historical backtest, which is great. I will mention a couple of things I don't like about the backtest, but primarily it looks like it has decent performance, it's performing well recently as well. But we want to perform out of sample testing, and then we also want to perform maybe a walk forward optimization. You'd also therefore want to perform a Monte Carlo test. And then lastly, if all those look pretty good, you want to do a forward test. The main things I'm not a huge fan of is, personally, it didn't work very well, I think, for the first year or two, and that was over like a 5-year backtest, which doesn't give me great signs to that it hasn't been, only a profitable strategy due to a certain market condition, and it seems to have done better basically from the start of 2020. Now, that necessarily isn't a huge flaw, just because we are still in that market, and if it's still making money recently, that shows at least some significant strength to still be making it, and it wasn't just on the individual time in 2020 when everything was like rallying. However, normally you do want it to be more profitable over a longer period of time, or at least more consistently, and kind of exponentially growing during that time. So that'd probably be one con I don't like too much. And also I think it has maybe a bit too many conditions really into it, which could be leading to some overfitting. I think the idea is great. I think the idea is very logical. We're looking for consolidations and then a breakout of them. So I think fundamentally that makes sense. And realistically, that's what exactly I'll do. So if you were to take from the strategy, I would say maybe simplify some of the parameters, do an out of sample test, do a walk forward test, do Monte Carlo test, and then forward test it. And if everything looks good, then feel free to take it live. Obviously, that's just what I would do. None of my channel is financial advice or anything, but it's just really giving you an educational purpose of what I would do in that kind of circumstance of taking the strategy and running it for myself. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please like it and share it with anyone else who might be interested, and I hope you found this interesting, and hopefully this has sparked some ideas for you to test your own strategy.